is no doubt that that is and will continue to be the great American dream. However, just buying your own home can often be very challenging and difficult. And for many, just holding on to the home you've already bought in recent years has been all but impossible. We've all heard the stories of subprime mortgages, about mortgage company bankruptcies, and about bank bailouts, and the list goes on and on. However, here in Southern California, there is a company that has weathered that storm and has continued to make home ownership a reality for thousands of people by staying dedicated and committed to helping their customers realize the American dream. I spoke with many of the principals of this company to try and find out just what it is that separates them from others.
We like to think that we're very personalized. We have proprietary technology that allows us to really manage the experience that people have with our agents here. We're very tight in what we expect of our agents. They have to be professed at many, many different types of lending. It's more controlled, but at the same time we give them the ability to be human beings on the phone and in person with the customers. It's no mystery that when you have a chance to do a lot more lending, you can bring your costs down because you can absorb costs through that level of volume. So it's a big part of why we are one of the more competitive providers in the country.
The part I really liked about Newamerican Funding was that I got an email probably about every other day outlining every step of the loan process and the status of every step and exactly where we were through the process. And that was so nice because I didn't have to call and beg for information. It was just very accommodating. It was a seamless transaction. My loan rate is great. I don't even know if we closed under 21 days, but at that point I really didn't care because everything was so smooth, so fast, so seamless. And I would recommend Newamerican Funding to anybody that needs a home loan or a refinance. In fact, if rates go down, I might do it again.
I cut my teeth in this business by operating a call center. And a call center is largely focused on refinance activity. We administer financing in 21 states. What really separates us is we administer all types of financing. Interest rates are at historic lows, and let's face it, that's not going to last forever. Interest rates are going to go up. So we made almost a defensive decision a couple of years ago to be a lot more prolific in the purchase world. So we dedicate a large part of our marketing and the interaction in our call center to talk with first-time and move-up home buyers in the purchase world. That's kind of unusual for a call center. And then we launched into hiring outside loan agents. That's what we refer to as OLA. And they're the ones that are out there on the street forming relationships with real estate agents and educating borrowers that are interested in purchasing a home. And that division of our company, which is only a couple of years old, is the fastest growing division of our company. We're excited about it because a lot of the incumbents in that space, larger banks, it takes them so long typically to get a loan done. We close loans on average in less than 30 days. So again, when you're competing for that house, there's multiple buyers on houses today, and you can work with a company that can get you pre-qualified with a conditional underwriting written decision and work with a company that can close the loan within 30 days. That gives you an advantage on the street today when you're purchasing a house.
I just like the way that I feel when I help customers achieve home ownership. I mean, it's your biggest purchase you ever make in your entire life, and there's nothing better. I have people crying. I'm in my home, I'm excited, I've been invited to dinners, and these clients, I've been doing some of their loans for 20, 25 years. I'm doing their children's loans now, and it's a very personal thing. I enjoy it. It gives me connection to people, and that's kind of my social circle is my customers. So I just have always enjoyed it. It's a different story every single day. It's a different, like a book that I create and I finish.
It was a positive experience working with Newamerican Funding because they guide you through the process regardless of the bumps we encountered along the way. We saved thousands overall on our mortgage and were able to get the lowest rate that was available. Ryan was an excellent broker and made sure he explained the process in a manner we could understand. Doing this refinance with Newamerican Funding was a wonderful experience and made our finances much easier on a daily basis. Thank you, New American Funding.
We launched something about a year ago called NAF 360, NAF for New American Funding. 360 means 360 degrees. It's in our culture. It's what we're about as a company. We want everybody that anybody interacts with, 360 degrees, to be treated with dignity and respect. And it's not just a customer. We pride ourselves on treating our customers as well as can possibly be treated and set ourselves apart from our competitors. We have a zero tolerance policy for, any kind of abusive language or anything like that. And it just makes it a more fun environment to work in. And then we're very goal driven. So when we hit our numbers, we party. I mean, we'll take everybody and we'll go bowling, or we'll take them to the racetrack, and it's almost an extended family. And I think it's what makes working here different.
We have a new regulator, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and it is one of the most powerful regulators to ever be affected by the financial industry. And it's very focused on the consumers as a result of the meltdown. They are rolling out possibly 200 new regulations that affect mortgage bankers over the next 2 years. And so my job is very focused on implementing those regulations so there aren't any negative unintended consequences on the consumers.
This is the second time I've refinanced my house from an internet-based company or an internet-oriented company. And then the fifth time we've refinanced our house since 2003, so I'm very conversant in the process. And whether you know it or not, if you're about to refinance your house with an internet-based company, it's a big risk. All you need to know about New American Funding is on August 23rd, I sent in my request to Google, and 1 month later, the loan exactly how New American Funding said it would go down.
Most everyone could get a loan. It's part of what got this country into trouble, is the lending was way too loose. So when you had a first-timer move-up buyer, the typical process is they would engage a realtor and they'd drive around, they'd find a house, and then almost as an afterthought, they'd engage a loan agent to put the loan package together and acquire the home. That's not the case today. The environment's very, very different. Getting a loan today is difficult. It's not impossible, and it's important, again, that you work with companies that know how to administer many different types of financing. But it's almost flipped around now. You're far better off getting together with a loan agent first, with a firm that can tell you about VA options, reverse options, FHA options, Fannie options, non-conforming options. So you can really find the best fit and get you approved first. So then when you're going in to negotiate on a house, you just have more strength in your file. One thing a lot of people don't realize right now is over 50% of the properties that are being sold in the United States are being sold to investors for cash. So it's important to be able to go with your strongest presentation by having not just a letter from a loan agent that may work at a small shop that says, yeah, I can get this guy a loan, but a real underwritten approval, conditional approval, so you can go in and say, yeah, I am qualifiable for financing, please consider my offer.
We got a 30-year fixed rate, and it saved us $120 a month. They were very knowledgeable, very responsive, and they also shopped around for the best rate for me. We actually waited it out a little bit and got a better rate in the end because of their knowledge and their experience. I actually am saving $120 a month, and it's really helping out. I would definitely recommend New American Funding to anyone that's looking to refinance their home or any other loans that they can help you with.
The veteran benefits are great today. 100% financing, record low interest rates. But another thing that's going on right now is you've got a lot of returning military. We're just getting out of the Gulf conflict. So you got a lot of people coming back. They're moving back onto the bases, and the bases actually have what's called a BAH. It's an allowance, a basic housing allowance, where they'll pay you to move off base. And a lot of the military take advantage of that for the purposes of renting a property. But you don't have to. You can actually buy a property using the basic housing allowance. And with the interest rates as low as they are right now and house values as corrected as they are, it's not uncommon for a returning military to use that basic housing allowance to pay 100% of the mortgage payment and own a home. It's a fantastic benefit, and there is no more deserving group.
What do you think it is that sets New American Funding apart from other mortgage lenders?
The experience of homeownership the way I would want it delivered to me. I'm very thorough. I treat them as family. I take care of them. I never shopped. I give them the best rate and fees possible at the inception of the loan app, so I don't feel like they're feeling cheated or that they have to shop for a better rate or fees. They're very comfortable with me knowing, yes, I'm a businesswoman, I'm going to make a living like everybody else does, but it's fair. And I think that's what, number one, sets me apart. I don't get shocked. Number two, when they have a question or they call me, I immediately call them back. When you're buying a home and you're stuck, or you feel like maybe you're going to get declined for the loan, and you're calling your loan officer and they don't call you back, and you call them again and they don't call you back, it sets a tone of insecurity that's unimaginable. People don't understand it until they go through it. I don't let them feel that way. I immediately call them back, even if I don't have their answer, because sometimes we don't. But I call them back. So I think that sets the difference between me and other loan officers.
Recently, I refinanced my mortgage through Newamerican funding. I found this company by doing research on the web, by reading countless reviews. I'm glad I went with Newamerican funding. From the minute I picked up the phone until my loan was funded, it was a smooth process. The staff at Newamerican funding was courteous and honest throughout the process. Thanks to Newamerican funding, I was able to save thousands of dollars year over year. Thank you for Newamerican funding.
I would attribute our most recent success to the fact that we embraced early on the importance of paying strict attention to the regulatory environment that there is in mortgage lending today. We've always been a middle-of-the-road lender, and by that I mean we never were a subprime lender. We didn't do a lot of these exotic products that got a lot of people in trouble. That's a testament to my wife, who runs the company with me, and her underwriting background. She just never felt comfortable with it. So when we went through the mortgage meltdown, those decisions made us safe. And now that we're on the other side of the mortgage meltdown, by paying close attention to all the rules of the road and hiring this top talent to manage the way the United States of America wants financing administered today, in my opinion, has given us an advantage. And that advantage has translated into just rapid growth for our company.
We want to protect the consumer. We were all consumers that were hurt by the meltdown, all of us. And of course our families were as well, our children, and so the effect, if it's implemented properly, will be good. We are one of the mortgage bankers in California that is more involved than anyone. There's a small group of us that are very active in the industry. The senior management team here spends a lot of time on committees, in working groups, working with the Mortgage Bankers Association, working with our Congress and other consumer groups to get a better understanding of what the new regulator wants us to do and how we can protect the consumer in the process.
If you're talking to a lender that can't administer FHA financing, they're clearly not going to tell you about FHA financing. So you might save thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars by choosing it, but you're just not going to know about it. The same thing with VA. The Veterans Administration is really it's one of the most incredible benefits for our valiant returning military to be able to take advantage of a zero-down, 100% financing option, take advantage of these historic low interest rates and historic affordability and low housing prices. What a great opportunity for our returning veterans.
Things are going well, but we're under a very heavily regulated environment, and those regulations coming down towards us are unexplainable. We don't know what's coming down the chute. We can only be prepared. And therefore, we've been working very hard on becoming the best regulatory compliant mortgage company that there is. I think that we all need to be very careful in how we execute business. It's not about growth. It's about, sustaining what we have and being consumer first, customer first. It needs to be that.
It's very hard to qualify for a loan today, but there's a lot of disqualifying characteristics that people dismiss themselves because they say, oh, you know what, I had a bankruptcy, I can't get a loan, or I had a mortgage late, I can't get a loan, or I short sold my house. Very common. I can't get a loan. It's not true. That's why you have to get with the lender first before considering getting in the car and looking at properties, because they can tell you what the rules are. At least our agents can. We do a lot of purchase transactions. We can tell you, if you short sold a home and you did it right, you didn't stop making your payments, you just went back to the bank and said, my life situation has changed, I need out of this property, I'm upside down, I want to short sale it, and you kept making your payments through the process, you get a loan within a month. You get a new loan, and you short sold your house. So there's a lot of things like that that the rank and file population, they just don't realize. Even if you're just thinking about it, could I qualify? Call us up. We'll get you a loan agent that's professed at administering every kind of financing that there is and talk you through the process and where the disqualifiers are. You know, we have kind of a saying here is we don't just quote a rate, we analyze and educate. And it's very important to think of things in that context today, is get with somebody that can analyze and educate you on the options that are available.
This is an important message for all homeowners who currently owe more on their mortgage than their home is worth. With the new HARP 2.0 program, you may be able to refinance, reducing your interest rate and your mortgage payments.
HARP is fantastic. What it's designed to do is if your loan is currently owned or held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and you got that loan in a specific time frame and you're underwater, you can get to today's low rate. By the way, this is designed for responsible homeowners, of the people that love their homes, they care about their credit, they love the neighborhood that they live in. Really, their only mistake was they bought at the wrong time. Let's face it. They bought at the wrong time. They bought at the peak of the market and the market backed up. So now they're trapped. Now with HARP, as long as your loan is owned by Fannie or Freddie, and we can tell you that, we can do a search and let you know, you can get to the low rates today regardless of what your LTV position is. You can be, your home could be worth half of what you owe, and you can still get to the lower rates.